Well, folks, the MAGA Republicans never fail to disappoint because yesterday in an interview, lunatic Republican Lauren Boebert went on this crazy rant and tried to blame Joe Biden for the shooting that took place at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania yesterday. It's just incredibly disgusting. Lauren Boebert is looking at this situation, this tragedy where someone lost their life. And instead of taking a unifying tone and saying, you know what, the violence should be condemned, the shooter is culpable and nobody else, and we condemn the violence, instead of taking a tone like that, Lauren Boebert goes a different route. And she decides to make it political to get some points and maybe some fundraising dollars and decides to blame Joe Biden. It really is just awful. So I'm going to show you that clip from this interview. We'll talk about it a little bit. But man, is it crazy. Take a look.
I believe that much of the rhetoric from the left has escalated to this moment. Just last week, we saw Joe Biden trying to excuse his poor performance at the debate and get that behind him and say, now we need to put Trump in a bullseye. President Trump was literally put in a bullseye after the president of the United States, the sitting president of the United States, called for him to be put in a bullseye.
I'd like to clarify what you just said. Do you believe that President Joe Biden bears any responsibility for what happened today, or does the responsibility for the shooting lie with the shooter?
I do believe that Joe Biden is responsible for the shooting today. Kyle Clark, an innocent supporter of President Trump, someone who loved President Trump and was there exercising their right to support him, lost their life today. Everyone who has called him a fascist, everyone who has called him a threat to democracy, who said that he should be put in a bullseye, as Joe Biden said, they need to have some very deep reflection tonight before another tragedy like this takes place.
Yeah, how unhinged and irresponsible is that for a sitting member of our government to be spreading a dangerous conspiracy theory like that? And what's especially bad about this clip is that Kyle Clark, the journalist from Colorado who is fantastic, gave her an opportunity to switch her answer. He gave her that opportunity. He said, hold on now. Just to clarify, are you saying that Joe Biden bears some responsibility for this shooting, or are you saying that the shooter who did the shooting is 100% culpable? They are the person who did it. And she doubles down. And also, her words were very specific there. She didn't say that Joe Biden bears some responsibility, which is already crazy enough. She said he is responsible, that he is the man who caused it or somehow did it. That's what she said in that interview. It is insane that we have people who are elected, people who vote on policy, people who influence the lives of me, you, and everybody around you and everybody you care about are spreading dangerous conspiracy theories like this. And what's also even worse about this answer, it just keeps getting worse and worse, is the fact that she's taking Joe Biden's words out of context. This is something I've seen from a lot of Republicans in the wake of this shooting, where they're saying, well, you know what? Joe Biden said he wants to put Donald Trump in a bullseye. And they're trying to frame that as if that statement caused the shooting, when that is, again, a blatant lie and a disgusting lie, given everything that just happened yesterday. I have a Politico article on this from the time where Joe Biden said this, and of course, the context matters as always. You can see the article on your screen right now. It's from after the debate. It said, defiant Biden tells donors we're done talking about the debate. Joe Biden was not talking about Donald Trump specifically. He was talking about his debate performance on a private call with donors. And the specific quote that Lauren Boebert is referencing is, as you can see on your screen right now. Joe Biden said in this call, I have one job, and that's to beat Donald Trump. I'm absolutely certain I'm the best person to be able to do that. So we're done talking about the debate. It's time to put Trump in a bullseye. So obviously, if you have the reading comprehensions of higher than a second grader, which Lauren Boebert's kind of up in the air, I'm going on the under on that one. He's talking about beating Donald Trump in the election. Everybody was talking about Joe Biden's debate performance. Is he going to drop out? Is he going to do this? All of that nonsense. They were talking about all of that, and there was a lot of infighting in the Democratic Party. There still is. And Joe Biden was saying, let's put that aside. Let's put that aside. Don't focus on me and your fellow Democrats. Let's focus on Donald Trump. That's what Joe Biden was saying. It was nothing nefarious. It was nothing evil. But of course, Republicans are trying to spin this to make it something that it's not. To make it something that it's not. To bring more division in a moment where there should be unity. And I just think that's awful. I think we as Americans are so much better than this. We are better than folks like Lauren Boebert and the divisive tone that she's taking. And I find this especially interesting given the fact that, Lauren Boebert's trying to blame Joe Biden because he said something on a donor call completely taken out of context. But when it comes to January 6th and Donald Trump was riling up the crowd, she says he has no culpability. Oh, no, he didn't do anything. He's not the cause of it. Let's take a look at some of Donald Trump's quotes from around January 6th, which are actually in context that Lauren Boebert thinks are perfectly fine. So on your screen right now, from his January 6th speech, we're going to walk down to the Capitol and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. We're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength and you have to be strong. Yeah, and even before January 6th, Donald Trump tweeted out things like, see you in Washington, D.C. on January 6th, big protest on January 6th, January 6th, see you in D.C. He also retweeted people telling people to wear body cameras so that they can film what happens on January 6th. Also, again, in his speech, he said, our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore. That's what this is all about. To use a favorite term that all of you people really came up with, we will stop the steal. And here's some more quotes. Trump said, when you catch somebody in a fraud, you're allowed to go by very different rules. This is the most corrupt election in history, maybe of the world. This is not just a matter of domestic politics. It's a matter of national security. And we fight back. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. So, those are some things that Donald Trump said around January 6th in his January 6th speech, in the days leading up to it, posting on social media. Very fighting words, you might describe them as, maybe inciting people to do something. And when it comes to January 6th, Lauren Boebert says there's no culpability, no responsibility at all. But when it comes to a tragedy, a real tragedy, where there's a shooting where a father who is covering his family with his body to protect them from the bullets lost his life, Lauren Boebert comes up with a conspiracy theory about it and tries to divide the nation further. I think it's disgusting. I think it's ugly. And I think people like Republican Lauren Boebert should resign. And I think that maybe they should be a little bit more logically consistent. Because if you think that Donald Trump bears no responsibility for January 6th, then you certainly don't think that Joe Biden bears any responsibility. No logical person would, but logic is absent in the world of MAGA. So anyway, I just wanted to bring your attention to this absolutely insane and ridiculous and irresponsible interview and answer from Lauren Boebert yesterday that she is still spreading right now. Insane. So anyway, I'll wrap up the video there. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Also, drop a like on the video and comment. Let me know what you think about all of this. And as always, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.